Today's question is all about transfer tape and how to use it, and what's the difference between transfer tape and that heat transfer tape. So we have a lot to talk about today. This is the Creative Crafters podcast. Hi, I'm Bette from Bette's Makes, and this is your questions answered. Now, one of the biggest question is using transfer tape, or what is it? What's the purpose? Why do we have transfer tape? Well, when you're cutting out projects, just think about it, especially vinyl. When you put vinyl down, you cut out some really small pieces, you weed it away, and you've got all these small pieces. You don't want to pick them up one by one and put them onto your project. And therefore, transfer tape came into being. So it's used mostly for vinyl types, especially those with a smooth and a non-texture type finish. So what you would do is cut out a piece of transfer tape. Now there's two types of transfer tape. No, actually three. The regular transfer tape that has a backing. So you could cut a piece out to fit your project, take the backing off, and simply put the transfer tape back on top of your design. Now it doesn't matter if you don't have it smooth when it goes on. Your little bubble here and there is not going to hurt anything. You want to make sure that your text underneath or your small pieces underneath adhere to that transfer tape. That's the important part about that transfer tape. And then you can pull it off the vinyl backing, put it onto your project, smooth it on securely, and then gradually work your transfer tape back off. Now you can use the same piece of transfer tape again by putting it back on its backing, and that is not an issue. Now that comes to the linerless transfer tape, and it's used for the same type of vinyl, smooth and non-textured finish. So the idea here is if it's linerless, you just cut out a piece, put it on the design like you would the regular transfer tape, smooth it into position as best you can, and then of course pull everything up off the backing. What I usually do is I flip it over, smooth it down again with a tool that you have. A credit card will work, and pull the backing off slightly to make sure everything adheres to the transfer tape. Move it over to your surface, put the transfer tape down on your surface and smooth it into place, and remove the transfer tape. Now, transfer tape is not tape per se, it's big sheets, and that sometimes causes a confusion, as I can see where that would be going. Now, with your linerless transfer tape, you have no backing to put it back on. However, in a roll, you can actually roll it back into the roll and use it again as well. So you don't have to feel like you're throwing it out just because it's linerless. You can save that as well. Now that leads into the last type of transfer tape itself, and that is for vinyl that has a textured finish. Now, think about textured finishes. Think about shimmer vinyl. Think about brushed vinyl. Think about anything that has a texture. And you've got glitter vinyl, that would work as well. So it's just stronger, so it adheres to that type of vinyl rather than that smooth flat finish. Same process, cut a piece out, press it down, make sure it's smoothed on and adheres, pull the backing off if you're not using smart paper, and put it onto your surface. Same way that you would do the other one. Now we have heat transfer tape or heat tape, and that's a little bit different from transfer tape. You can't use it for the same thing. It is there to hold things down where you're going to have heat on the surface. So the three things we're more concerned about is transfer tape itself, the linerless transfer tape, and the strong grip transfer tape. Now, just remember that they are all gridded, and you see these black grid lines. So those are to help you line things up as you use it. So remember, you can line things up that way, make things are straight on the surface that you're placing it on. So that is my description of transfer tape. linerless transfer tape, strong grip transfer tape, and how to use it. I hope that answered your question. This is the Creative Crafters Podcast, and your questions answered.